It's that time of year you need to be thinking about your chimney and making sure it's clean and safe.
Our chimney experts at Hancock Chimney are very busy this time of the year sweeping, so we've asked Ken Hancock to come in today to talk all about it. And, you know, I have to say, most of us wouldn't really think of spring heading into the summer as a time to get our chimney swept, but this is a perfect time.
Yes, it is, Rachel and Terry. It's because this time of year, people don't usually think of it, but then we get it done now. They don't have to wait in the fall to when everybody gets super busy. You want to have it done, you want to have a fire, but your chimney hasn't been cleaned yet, so now you have to wait. You put it off, and maybe even put it off till later in the year. You might not even get it done. We had a lot of people say, "Oh, I called last fall. You were so busy. I just didn't have a fire last year."
Oh wow!
So we want to get people get it taken care of now. So
this is a cold winter. You don't want to
exactly.
leave that fireplace closed
fireplace there.
Yeah.
So we're doing now is we're offering special for spring cleaning for people that call today from your show, $50 savings off our usual price.
Wow, that's a great deal. Okay, this story, this segment is perfect for me. I've had fireplaces before. I have to admit I haven't had it done, and I'm really worried to hear about the dangers of not having it done.
Yep.
Can you tell me the ugly truth?
Well, there have quite a few chimney fires, which do involve sometimes the residents catching on fire, and some people get injured. And just the property loss is tremendous, and it's something that's avoidable. If we call and take proper precautions, then we don't have to worry about that.
So tell us what happens. What do you do when you're cleaning the chimney?
When we come in to clean the chimney, we set down a big tarp to keep all our equipment on to keep the floor clean. We have runners we come in, we put in, so we walk in, we don't walk on the floor. None of our equipment touches the floor. We have a specially designed vacuum cleaner to make sure that no dust comes in the house. A lot of people worry about, we clean their chimney, it's going to make my house all dirty. No,
sooty.
We have a real effective vacuum that keeps all the dust contained, so there's no mess in the house. We have a special cleaning tool here. This one's from Germany. We have tools from all over the world that we use because they sweep all over the world, and some of the other countries have the best tools. This particular one's from Germany. It's kind of like a plumber snake where we can take the brush, run, and go all the way up the chimney and all the way back down. That way, if it's windy out, rainy, snowy, we can clean it just as effectively from the bottom as we can from the top. We don't necessarily have to go up on the roof.
Okay,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I know you've been doing this over 30 years, and so you know what you're doing. You actually have some pictures that you've taken along the way of some of the dangers of what a lot of people cannot see
in their
because
chimney.
they're not inside their chimney. But what are we seeing right here?
Okay, right now we're looking at inside of a masonry chimney, and that's a flue tile joint that's open and a crack in one of the flue tiles. Now right now that crack looks small. You think, well, that's no problem, it's just a tiny crack. But when that flue gets warm and you have a fire, flue tiles expand. And that crack right now that looks tight will actually open up and have a gap, could have a gap that big when the flue tile gets warmed up.
A couple inches.
And that's something that you inspect for because you actually have a special camera that you send into the chimney to do this inspection.
Yeah, we have a special designed camera, that another one from Germany. It goes inside the chimney. We have real nice close-up, clear view so we can see any little potential damage or problems.
Like this, because this is pretty small, but it's problematic.
You're right. The heat can go through these gaps and attack and heat up the adjoining wood structure to the point that it can catch on fire. And that's why all these little gaps are supposed to be sealed. The chimney is supposed to be completely sealed on the inside. And that's why the safety code says once there's a crack or an opening, it's not considered safe. It can't contain the products of combustion the way it's intended to do.
Right, all that heat.
Yep, all that heat can go through and start a fire.
So if people call you, what they're getting with the cleaning is that inspection too, which gives you peace of mind and can spot any problems.
Yep. Right. That's a lot of times, you know, there's not really a lot of creosote in your chimney, but we might find a problem that could lead to a problem later on, or find that is indeed, you know, safe to use.
And this is a picture of actually something of the before and after of something that is so blocked.
Right. That's on the left side is before we swept it. They had actually blocked it. It was a wood stove, and they burned it until it was completely plugged. And then we unplugged it and got it open to the point where they could use it again.
Wow. And you talk about that. I mean, what a potential danger, because you can back up not just and have the heat, but you could have carbon monoxide.
Oh, yeah, smoke damage, carbon monoxide. Yeah, we've had a couple. Actually, my first sweeping job was somebody whose furnace was plugged, and they had carbon monoxide poisoning. And they didn't know what it was. Because back in the early 80s, carbon monoxide poisoning wasn't on medical radar. And so they had gone so far as to get spinal taps or everything to find out what their health problems were about. And everything came out negative, and then they were sitting in their house. Their cat walked in into a wall and fell over. And they go, it's not just us that's sick in here. So then they found that out. Their chimney was plugged with a squirrel's nest about that
Oh,
thick of
my.
a plug.
Wow. Well, it's valuable information because, like I mentioned, this is something that you don't see with the naked eye. We're
Right.
not crawling around our chimneys. You know, you need special equipment. You need experts. Again, let's talk about that special because you're offering it for one day for viewers
Yes.
that call and mention that they saw it on the show.
Correct. $50 off. You call today, make an appointment today.
Okay.
Fantastic. And you know, you do the inspection, you clean it, you repair it. Great time of the year to make sure you're ready when the weather turns colder.
Right. It turns colder, and then too, this summer we get those real hot, humid days. You get that stinky chimney smell in your house. You get it cleaned out now. We can avoid that problem later in the summer too.
Fantastic.
Well, Ken,
thank
thanks
you
for
so
coming
much.
You
in.
bet.
So
My
helpful.
pleasure.
We love it that you're our Ask the Expert because it's very valuable and important
Oh, yeah.
information.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.